Hello everyone, Jolene here from Bookworm Adventure Girl. Welcome to another Tag Tuesday. Today I am doing the book to movie adaptation tag, and this is an original tag by my buddy Michael from Michael Romeo Talks Books, and he was kind to tag me in this. I will put a link to Michael's channel and the original tag below. Michael always talks about books that I haven't heard about, which I love, and including he does that even in his answers to the prompts in this tag. So please go check his channel out and spread some of that booktube love. This is Michael's first original tag, so I am very excited for him and I wanted to support him. And this is a fun tag about movies and books and our favorites and not so favorite adaptations. So let's get started. Prompt number 1. What movie or TV series was better than the book it was based on? So we all know the book is better than the movie, but there are some exceptions to this rule. And I have quite a list actually for this. So the 3 that immediately come to mind are The Perfect Storm, which was written by Sebastian Junger. And the movie starred George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg, Diane Lane, among many others. It's a great cast, and it's based on a true story about a group of fishermen who go against, the elements every day while they're working, but one day they are caught in a perfect storm, which is when 3 storms collide. Second would be Schindler's List by Thomas Keneally. This is also based on a true story. Oskar Schindler saved more than 1,000 Jews during the Second World War by having them work in his factory. And the movie stars Liam Neeson and Ralph Fiennes, and it was directed by Steven Spielberg. And it was filmed in Krakow, Poland, which is where Schindler's factory is. And when I visited Poland, I had the opportunity to tour the factory, which is now a museum, and had the chance to see some of the filming locations, while I also learned about the Jewish history of the area. So another one that I would put on this list in this category is The English Patient by Michael Ondaatje. This movie also starred Ralph Fiennes, Juliette Binoche, and Kristen Scott Thomas. So in this story, a nurse is caring for a burn victim, and his story is told in these flashbacks. And this is like a love story and a story of healing in a variety of ways. And in all 3 of these, I had seen the movie first and loved the movie so much that I read the books. And I found all 3 of these books to be so dry and boring, but I was able to finish them because I knew that they were good stories, and that helped to kind of get me through the reading process of them. Another one, in this case, I read the book first and didn't care for it at all, and that was The Reader by Bernard Schlink. And if you had asked me after I read this book what the book was about, I don't think I could have told you. Then the movie came out, starring Kate Winslet, David Cross, and yes, Ralph Fiennes. I think the lesson to be learned here is that any book to film adaptation with Ralph Fiennes means that the movie will be better. When I watched the movie, I was like, this is what this film is about? It's such an amazing story that takes place after World War II. A woman and a young man have a passionate affair, and the woman is keeping a secret. And then one day she just disappears, and it's not until years later when the young man sees her again that he finds out what her deep, dark secret is. And it's such an incredible story. So I have many more that I could put on this list, but those would be, my top 4. Okay, prompt number 2. What is your least favorite movie adaptation? So again, I have a list here, but if I had to pick just one, I am going to pick The Vow. The Vow is written by Kim Carpenter, and the movie stars Rachel McAdams and Channing Tatum. This book is based on a true story about Kim Carpenter and his wife Cricket. I think they've only been married a short time when Cricket is in a horrible accident and loses her memory. And she has to get to know her entire life again and her husband all over again. Now, this is not an amazingly written book, but it is a book written from the heart, and it tells a beautiful story. The reason I didn't like the movie is actually the same reason that Michael didn't like the movie that he chose for this prompt. It's a true story, but they changed so many things that it became more of a movie inspired by the book, maybe. It was so disappointing. They changed the characters' names, how the accident really happened, and just so much about the story. They Hollywoodized this movie to death. I know that if I hadn't read the book, I probably would have loved the movie. But because I was, comparing it and had hoped that it would stay true to the story that I had read, it was really horrible. And we went to the theater to see this movie when it came out, and I was that person, saying every 10 seconds, that's not what happens in the book, that's not his name, that's not what he does for a living, that's not how it really went, so I'm sure that I spoiled it for anyone who was with me at the time. Okay, number 3. What book would you like to see made into a movie or TV series? And who would you cast? So for this one, I am going to go with a book that I just read and haven't even talked about it yet, but I am going to talk about it and eventually. And I'm going to say Middlesex by Jeffrey Eugenides. And I will be talking about this book more when I do my July wrap-up, but for now, I will say that, while I was reading this, the entire time, I was thinking that in many ways the book was ahead of its time, and that the story would be so well received right now. I mean, it was received well in 2002 when it was published. It won the Pulitzer, so it was well received in that way. But I think that as a movie or series, it would do very well, and it's definitely a story for our times, as it would spark a lot of conversation around gender. So I have no idea really who I would cast. I think the main character, Cal, would need to be someone more unknown. The grandmother, who I absolutely adored, I could see, as someone like maybe Judi Dench, but I'm not sure about the others. Okay, number 4. What movie or series deterred you from reading the book? Well, my answer here might be an unpopular opinion, but I am going to go with Twilight. In all fairness, I wasn't interested in reading it even before I was lovingly strong-armed into watching the movie. After watching the movie, though, it only confirmed for me that it is not a book for me. I made fun of the movie the entire time. My friend got quite upset with me, and books about vampires are not my thing to begin with. Number 5, what is your favorite book to movie or TV adaptation? So there are some really good ones out there. Stephen King's Shawshank Redemption, I think, is definitely, a favorite of mine. But I know that a lot of people probably feel that way. And actually, Stephen King's books have had a lot of great success with their adaptations. And in a lot of cases, I liked both the book and the movie. So like The Green Mile, Dolores Claiborne. But I would say for its time, the series Roots was very well done, based off of Alex Haley's book. The Thornbirds was very well done, based off of Colleen McCullough's epic novel. And a movie that I've always thought really stayed true to the book is White Oleander. And the book is by Janet Fitch. And the movie stars Michelle Pfeiffer and I think Renee Zellweger is in it too. I'm pretty sure. So those two, and I've always appreciated the way Where the Heart Is by Billy Letts was adapted. It stars Natalie Portman, and James Frain plays Forney, and he was exactly how I imagined Forney to be while I was reading the book. More recently, I absolutely loved the adaptation of Where'd You Go, Bernadette by Maria Semple. And the movie stars Cate Blanchett, and I thought the movie did such a great job of making the house a character and making Antarctica a character as well, and I really enjoyed it. Number 6, what previously adapted book would you like to see remade and improved, and who would you cast? For this one, I think I'm going to go with Jean Auel's Earth Children series. It begins with Clan of the Cave Bear, and this was adapted in like 1985 or 86, and it starred Daryl Hannah, who I just found out is married to Neil Young. Like, what? Am I the last person to find this out? I had no idea. So, yeah, I had to take that all in when I found out. So, anyway, I think that this story would be an incredible remake if it was done. Ayla is one of my all-time favorite literary female characters, and for casting, like maybe Dakota or Elle Fanning, that could maybe work. So next is, what series made into a movie or TV series is your personal favorite? This is a tougher one for me because I don't do well with book series. I do love Outlander, and I have watched some of the TV series, which I think is really well done. However, I have read all of the books so far, but I stopped watching the show after, I think, 1 or 2 seasons because I found that although, I thought that the show was well done and it's great, it was changing the characters that I had in my mind when I was reading, and I didn't really want that to happen, so I stopped watching the show. But maybe after the 10th book comes out, which is the final book, and once I've read the entire series, I can go back and binge watch the show and just enjoy it for what it is. And I would also say that my favorite Canadian classic is Anne of Green Gables. I know many of you already know this. And I have loved the original movies and shows with Anne of Avonlea, and any of the adaptations that I've seen, always make me feel a bit nostalgic. And then the final prompt, number 8, tag some friends who love books and movies. So I am going to tag a few people here so we can get this tag rolling, getting it out there for Michael. So I'm going to start with Lindy from Lindy's Magpie Reads, Lo from Literally Lo, definitely Laura at Why the Book Wins. This is totally Laura's thing, as she always talks about books and movies and adaptations, so this tag was kind of made for her. I will tag Fraser from Fraser Simon's Springboard Thought, and I think Fraser will have some unique answers for this. And I will also tag Maria from Read Fine Books, and finally I will tag Fred from Read by Fred. If any of you are up to doing this tag, please do so. I would love to hear all of your answers to these prompts. Thanks again to Michael for creating this tag and for tagging me. It's a great original tag, especially for book and movie buffs, so I appreciate that very much. Please let me know what your favorite movie adaptation or least favorite movie adaptation is. Which book do you wish would be made into a movie or a TV series? I look forward to chatting with you in the comments. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and don't forget to make every day an adventure.